In 1997, Bobby Mahi, a 29-year-old American, unexpectedly became a global sensation when it was announced that she was pregnant with septuplets. Up until that time, no septuplets had survived childbirth. Bobby and her husband, Kenny, were about to embark on the most challenging months of their lives. But before diving into their incredible journey, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new story. The couple was undoubtedly facing a monumental adventure filled with numerous hurdles. Get ready to hear one of the most extraordinary and inspiring stories of this century. Bobby and Kenny already had a daughter named Michaela, yet they still desired another child. This meant they needed medical assistance, as they were unable to conceive naturally. The process was intensive, involving numerous checkups. During an ultrasound, it was discovered that there wasn't just one embryo, but 7. Kenny vividly recalls his initial reaction when the doctor confirmed they were indeed expecting septuplets. He responded in disbelief, saying, No, seriously." The young couple admitted that they felt pure fear upon learning they were having septuplets. However, they soon began to accept the reality of their situation. At that time, no one could have predicted how the delivery would unfold. The couple was understandably anxious, especially since the birth of their first daughter had not gone smoothly. Bobby noticed her belly growing much faster than during her previous pregnancy, which made sense given the 6 additional babies. At one point, her belly became so large that she questioned whether her body could handle it. Bobby described the unusual size of her belly, explaining that while sitting, it pressed down to her knees. Stretch marks covered her stomach, and she grew increasingly concerned about her body. Beyond the physical discomfort, another significant issue emerged: financial strain. The babies weren't even born yet, but the couple tried to stay optimistic and prayed for better times. Just when Bobby and Kenny thought things might improve, the doctors presented them with a tough choice. This was not a typical pregnancy, and Bobby required more hospital checkups than usual. The doctor suggested a procedure called selective reduction, which involved reducing the number of fetuses to increase the chances of survival for the remaining babies. Meanwhile, Bobby and Kenny received extensive media attention, and millions formed opinions on their situation. The couple's decision to keep all 7 children shocked the world, as septuplets had never survived childbirth before. Bobby trusted her instincts and said, "We put it in God's hands and trust that it will all be all right." They received hundreds of letters, though not all were supportive. For every 10 positive messages, there was one expressing anger or negativity. Some critics viewed their large family as a waste of resources or believed they were exploiting media attention. Fortunately, there was positive support as well. With 7 children on the way, their current home was too small, and they couldn't secure a mortgage for a larger one. A generous donor stepped in, providing them with a spacious house that could accommodate 8 children. Additionally, they received a substantial supply of diapers, an annual stash of macaroni, and a new large car. Tensions were already high, but Bobby felt relatively okay until her 28th week when she sensed things were changing. She realized that childbirth was imminent. On November 19, 1997, when Bobby was 30 weeks pregnant, contractions began. At that time, her belly was twice the average circumference of a pregnant woman. The delivery commenced 9 weeks before the due date, with a team of over 40 specialists prepared to assist. Despite meticulous planning, everyone was astonished by how smoothly the birth proceeded. Within 7 minutes, all 7 babies were born via C-section, and miraculously, every one of them survived. The septuplets consisted of 4 boys and 3 girls, each smaller than average due to their early arrival. After months of specialized medical care, the babies were finally allowed to go home. Naming 7 children was no small feat, but Bobby and Kenny chose 7 beautiful names in the order of their birth: Kenny Jr., Alexis, Natalie, Kelsey, Nathan, Brandon, and Joel. Just over 3 months after their birth, the family could finally live together permanently. Unfortunately, not all the children were entirely healthy. Alexis and Nathan were born with cerebral palsy, which made speaking and walking challenging. However, aside from these conditions, all the children were in perfect health. Shortly after settling into their new home, the family received an invitation from none other than Oprah Winfrey to appear on her show. During the interview, Bobby and Kenny shared the challenges of raising so many children but emphasized their happiness. They mentioned using 52 diapers and consuming 42 bottles each day. Raising the septuplets was not only time-consuming but also extremely expensive. Fortunately, Bobby and Kenny devised a clever financial plan. As a family of 10, they had to manage their finances wisely since money was limited and borrowing wasn't an option. Initially, they received many donations, but these dwindled over time. With 8 growing children, financial management became increasingly difficult. Bobby and Kenny revealed that they saved significantly on groceries through smart purchasing, managing to spend only around $300 a month, which was comparable to what a family of 4 would typically spend at the time. As the years went by, they continued to develop innovative strategies for managing their household. Raising 8 children became akin to a full-time job, but they received assistance from up to 35 volunteers who helped with chores and cleaning. They also started growing their own vegetables in the garden, further reducing their food expenses. Meanwhile, another high-profile individual expressed interest in meeting the septuplets. George W. Bush, then the President of the United States, wanted to meet them in person. This brought even more media attention to the family, and the parents faced another difficult decision. Many TV stations were eager to document the children's lives, which could have been financially beneficial. However, Bobby and Kenny chose to prioritize their children's privacy, deciding not to capitalize on the media frenzy. They aimed to raise their children as privately as possible, allowing exceptions only for significant moments. The family agreed to produce a TV special for the children's birthdays each year, ensuring some public recognition without constant media intrusion. Years later, on the septuplets' 13th birthday, a documentary provided a glimpse into their unique lives. For instance, they blew out a total of 91 candles on their birthday cake. During their teenage years, the children faced various challenges, but also experienced many joyful moments. Alexis and Nathan both dealt with disabilities that made walking independently difficult. However, Nathan demonstrated remarkable resilience. After spinal surgery, he taught himself to walk unaided. Alexis also achieved great things, becoming a role model for many girls. She participated in beauty contests for individuals with disabilities and was named Teen Miss Dream Made True in 2013. Academically, she ranked in the top 15% of her class. In the early years, Bobby and Kenny chose to homeschool their children. As the children grew older, they decided to enroll them in school, which was a new experience for the siblings. For the first time, the children were separated into different classes, allowing them to make friends independently and develop their own identities. This marked a significant step in their personal growth. In middle and high school, the siblings continued to develop their unique characteristics. For example, Alexis developed a love for studying, while Kenny Jr. became known as the class clown. The siblings were also incredibly musical, often participating in the school band and performing at special events, which they thoroughly enjoyed. Turning 16 was a significant milestone, as it is the legal driving age in America. With limited financial resources, the siblings had to find jobs to afford their driver's licenses and cars. On November 19, 2015, all 7 children celebrated their 18th birthdays and graduated from high school. 4 of them pursued higher education at universities, 2 continued their studies at different schools, and 1 brother, Brandon, chose a different path by enlisting in the Army. Brandon had always been passionate about military life, so his decision was unsurprising. Now, at 21 years old, the septuplets are transitioning into adulthood. Kenny Jr. has founded his own company, and Brandon is thriving in the Army. Alexis is pursuing a career in teaching, while Kelsey and Natalie are completing their studies. Joel and Nathan have developed a keen interest in computer technology. As the children begin to move out one by one, Bobby and Kenny have had to significantly adjust their lifestyle. Bobby expressed pride in how their children have grown, noting that they no longer need to cook as much, which has reduced some of their living expenses. They even decided to pass on the large house they were given to another family in need of more space. It's truly heartwarming to see how beautifully this family has grown and flourished over the years.
Disclaimer: this channel does not support or tolerate any form of discrimination, racism, prejudice, or violation of human rights. The stories presented here are original and created by the author with the aim of promoting reflection, awareness, and dialogue. All content is developed with respect for diversity and the dignity of all people.